It's amazing when you understand that when you lend to the Lord, it's like you're opening up your life to even more blessings, to even more grace. Holy Tuesday, here in Anawim, our ministry for the abandoned elderly. We started this almost 30 years ago. There was nothing here, like absolutely nothing. No buildings, no electricity, no running water. Me and my friends, we stayed in a little nipa hut, but then we decided we're going to welcome the poor. And so that's what we did. And it was challenging, it was difficult. I can talk nonstop about all the trials that we went through to be able to make this happen. But this is what I realized. There's a verse in the Bible, Proverbs chapter 19, verse 17. You know what it says? This is mind-blowing. It says, "Be kind to the poor. When you are kind to the poor, you are lending to the Lord, and God will reward you." That speaks volumes to my heart. One of the reasons why I feel my life is blessed and why the Feast community is blessed is because we've got all these mercy ministries. We've got Anawim, our ministry for the abandoned elderly. We've got Jeremiah, our home for abused children. We've got Grace to be Born. It's a center for pregnant women in crisis. I can go on and on. We've got many more. And I really believe this. Because we just made that decision and say, look, we're going to go through the trials. We're going to go through the obstacles. We're going to love the poor. We're going to give to the poor. And it's going to be an ongoing thing, year after year, decade after decade. We were lending to the Lord. That's what the book of Proverbs says. We were lending if you're kind to the poor, you're lending to the Lord. Whoa, who would have thought that? I'm just doing this for the poor. No, you're lending to the Lord and God will reward you. That's been my experience in my own personal life. The reason why I feel I have more joy, I'm not saying I don't have problems. Look, I've got many problems. But in spite of all those problems, I have joy, I have peace, I have fulfillment. I look at my life and say, why am I so blessed? And then I realize, maybe, just maybe, because this place and many other ministries that we've started. It's amazing when you understand that when you lend to the Lord, it's like you're opening up your life to even more blessings, to even more grace. And I just want to share that with you today on a more personal level, that I will keep on doing this. I will keep on serving the poor and loving the poor. Let me end with this little reflection with what Jesus said in Matthew 25. It was a fulfillment of what I just said in Proverbs chapter 19. If you're kind to the poor, you lend to the Lord. What's the connection with the poor and the Lord? Matthew 25 says, "Whatever you do to the least of my brethren, to the hungry and the thirsty and those in prison and the naked and the sick, whatever you do to them, you do it to me." Whoa! You cannot love God if you do not love the poor. And I want to thank the Lord that God has given me different opportunities to do that. And you know what? God is giving that opportunity to you as well. He's saying, will you love me in the poor? Will you love me in those who are handicapped? Will you love me in those who are rejected and ostracized by society? Will you love me with the people who are in desperate need right now? Make a decision to live life, not just for yourself, but for people who are bigger, so much bigger. I also want to invite you, if the Lord speaks to you, help us here in Anawim. Help us in our other mercy ministries. The links are provided. You can get to know more about what we do, and we'd love to partner with you. God bless you. And yes, Proverbs 19:17 it will happen. He who is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and God will reward you.